Okay. It seems like not enough people in this room did enough research on you before they got here, and I think this question needs to be asked. We need to talk more about who you like to call daddy. This question says, who do you like for president? And I'm gonna add, why do you like this person for president?
Well, I think Donald Trump is great, and I'll tell you why. There are people who vote for Trump because they agree with his immigration position, particularly people who are worried about wages being shoved down. There's another set of people who like Trump, and the other set of people is me, and it's those mysterious women, Hispanics, highly educated people who somehow vote for Trump, and liberals are like, but how can you... that's the most intelligent response they have to it. Well, and it's a very simple reason. The current parties are no longer fit for purpose. The Democrat Party is a mess. The Republican Party deserves to be destroyed. It is no longer fit for purpose. It disrespects and betrays its own base. It no longer practices conservative principles in government. It deserves to be ripped in two. If we believe in a conservative vision of the world, the Republican Party is not going to get us there. So that plus the fact that I think there's been a realignment in politics in the West in the last 20 years. I think that people no longer primarily identify, left and right, or at least that's not the most important thing about somebody when I meet them. When I meet somebody, what I care about is if they want to control how I live or they don't. And authoritarianism versus libertarianism is what I really care about. The religious right was guilty of this in the 90s and for many centuries, thousands of years, whatever, before. And they don't have a perfectly clean slate. Today it's the left. Today it's the progressive left who want to control what you read, what you say, what you think, what video games you can play, what movies you can watch. I want them to fuck off out of my life. I want them out of my life. And I think Trump, for all of the likelihood that he will have some enlargements in various parts of the state, it's going to take a lot of people to get 11 million immigrants out for a start. For all of the risk that he might be a big statist, I like the idea of Trump at least because he is a gigantic middle finger at an establishment that has failed. The left-wing establishment has failed. The right-wing establishment has failed. The consensus of the people who rule over us, whether it is university administrators, editors of newspapers, or politicians, they have failed. Their solutions to problems are not working. They don't care about us. They don't care about voters. They don't really care about anybody outside their own circles. And when even the Republican Party, and you've got these Republican strategists, bitching about his own voters as being like anime nerds or whatever the hell it was Rick Wilson said, and fuck Rick Wilson. When you've got people beating up on their own honest, decent supporters, people who are good, decent people who have valid concerns about whether it's immigration or radical Islam or whatever, when the Republican establishment is kind of looking to liberals, say, can I say this? Is this okay? Is this sexist? Is this racist? Is this all right? Constantly on the back foot. The Republican Party is just no longer fit for purpose. And the best expression of that is them throwing their support behind Rubio now in sort of last-ditch effort to stop Daddy. Typical. I mean, he's just the Republican Obama. He's done nothing. He's achieved nothing. He looks good and he sounds all right. He's just Republican Obama, and I don't want that in government. I want the existing structure of parties to be ripped apart and something new to be imagined, something new to be constructed. And I want disaffected liberals, who are most of my fans actually, and libertarians and classical liberals, and old proper conservatives to join together and form the new libertarian majority. That can only happen when the Democrat Party and the Republican Party are history.